Well, the University of Texas has a new athletic director to oversee Longhorn sports.
Mike Perrin was introduced this morning as the interim director. He has a long history with the Longhorns, and KXAN sports director Roger Wallace joining us with a closer look at the impact of today's announcement.
Thought it was interesting to listen to Mike Perrin. The message was pretty clear. Nothing from the new AD, about expanding the Longhorn brand. It was all about uniting the University of Texas fan base, which also means their donor base. Perrin says this is the perfect time in his life for this challenge after a successful law career in Houston. Says that while he understands what interim means, he'll be heavily involved in all major decisions. Met with all the coaches this morning, plans to begin efforts to repair some of those relationships with Longhorn fans as soon as possible.
I've been concerned. I sat in the stands last week and saw empty seats. I tell you, there's nothing greater than the field of being on the competition field, being in the arena, and fans, band members, your peers supporting you. There's nothing like it. I intend to reach out to the entire Longhorn Nation. I have sat as a student. I have sat in the stands. I've been a donor. I've been actively involved, and I want to reach out to the Texas X's, to the other alumni group, whether they be Letterman or others. I want to be a source of interface with all aspects of the Longhorn Nation, because I want the fans there.
Interesting to see if the crowd Saturday gets a bump for the Cal game. As of this afternoon, no real raise in ticket sales. Perrin said that although he is interim, he has no limits on decision making because of that tag. They've got some major decisions coming up, and he'll be right in the middle of it, including an apparel deal that's coming up. Okay, we'll be following it. We'll see you at 6.
Well, Perrin said that President Fenves first approached him about the interim AD position on Labor Day. That was right after the Longhorns' embarrassing 38-3 loss to Notre Dame. But Fenves said it was not any one thing that led to Patterson's departure. Instead, he called it the result of different points of view.
I felt that there were certain things, especially that I'd like to see, and he understood that, and so we recognized that it was that we weren't always in seeing eye to eye, and it was a mutual decision.
President Fenves hopes Perrin will help make the changes they both can agree on.
And he is not alone. KXAN's Brent Carney looks at the reaction from key Longhorns to today's announcement.
A former Letterman under Darrell K. Royal, it might be Mike Perrin's deep ties to the university rather than his experience in litigation that proves to be his biggest asset as he takes over the Texas Athletic Department.
I'm not walking into this as a stranger to the UT community. A number of us that played together under Coach Royal get together regularly. I generally know somebody in every town, every county, and I've made myself available in that regard.
Mike was the first male Letterman to serve on the Women's Athletic Council. So that tells me that he understands about all aspects of athletics.
He made a good decision. He's been a friend for 30-some years. He's a wonderful man. Great decision, yeah.
Perhaps some of us of my vintage represent a unique opportunity to span what has been, but also look forward as the sports changes.
Because of the timing, many of the divisive policies recently put in place won't be changing anytime soon. If they're ever overhauled, but Texas is hoping the same is not true with relationships, especially when it comes to a fractured fan base. In Austin, Brent Carney, KXAN News.
For background, Dodds announced in October 2013 he planned to retire in 2014, but UT hired his replacement, Steve Patterson, 1 month later.
The search to replace Patterson could take longer. Perrin signed a 1-year deal, but he said today he will serve as interim AD as long as Dr. Fenves needs him at UT. And this is not the only key position at UT Austin being filled on an interim basis. The university also looking for a new provost, that is the chief academic officer for UT. Judith Lengua started serving as the interim provost in May. That's when previous provost Greg Fenves left to become UT Austin's president. UT is still searching for a chief financial officer. That person oversees the university's budget, including payroll and purchasing. Mary Knight is serving as the interim CFO at UT Austin. She took over after Kevin Haggerty left in February to take the CFO position at the University of Texas. The university appointed separate, University of Michigan that is, the university appointed separate search committees to find permanent replacements for both the provost and the CFO. Fenves said he has not yet decided if there will be a search committee for the athletic director position.